Hello, I'm Jessica, certified Zentangle teacher, and today you're going to learn how to draw this beautiful mooka tree. I like to show this in the light with the bright light and with a little bit of dimmed light to see the shading a little bit better. So let's begin. And this is a great time for you to get all your supplies, which I'll show you in a second, and a great time to hit that subscribe button. Thank you. Today we're going to tangle a mooka tree, and I'm going to be using a Micron 01 pen, a pencil, and what's called a tortillon or a blending stump. It's wrapped paper, and that's what I'm going to use to blend the graphite. So we're going to do this step by step, nice and slow, so it's easy to follow. So we're going to start with our Micron 01. And what I like to do is just kind of draw, I'm just going to draw this really kind of fuzzy line at the bottom. And then I'm going to begin mooka. Now, with all of my tangles, I like to start breathing in all the things that I'm grateful for and appreciative for. And then on the exhale, bring my shoulders down away from my ears and imagine all the things that are bothersome or worrisome. Imagine them going right out my feet. So this would be a great time to take a few inhales and exhales. And at the same time, be light with the pen and light with the pressure and breathe. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring what I like to call a candy cane up and over. I'm going to make this quite tall. So I've got this candy cane shape. And now I'm going to go under and connect a U shape to that candy cane. And this can be as big or as small as you want. It's completely up to you. Now I'm going to draw this little upside down U. I call it the hook. I just make up my own words for what it is that I'm doing. And then we're going to aura this line. And what auraing this line means is just bringing the line down, kind of copying this same stem. And so I'm going to aura this all the way down. And there's our first mooka. Now don't be scared to pick up the pen and set it down, pick it up and set it down. Don't try to rush yourself. There's no reason for it, okay? For me, as a certified Zentangle teacher, it's most important to follow the journey to the end of the tangle, and the tangle's a bonus at the end. So it's more about, are you holding your breath? Are you biting the inside of your cheek, clenching your jaw, squeezing the pen too tight, or pushing down too hard with the pen? And we want to resolve those things as soon as we can. And that's going to make for a much different looking tangle. So now the mooka I'm going to put next to this, I'm going to make it a little bit taller, but I'm going to kind of take off from that same stem. So I'm going to start somewhere down here, and I'm going to take off, and I'm going to start with this candy cane. This time I'm going to tilt this candy cane shape in. I like to maybe turn my paper, and I'm going to do the U shape a little bit more open, just so that all the mookas don't have the exact same shape. I'm going to do that lovely hook on the inside. And then I'm going to turn my paper however I need, and I'm going to go ahead and aura this stem again, all the way down. Okay? Now, I'm going to do this over and over again, but there's one thing I do want to do. I'm going to go ahead and take from this area here, and I am going to, in one motion, do a mooka. I'm not saying that this is what you have to do, but the goal with relaxation and letting go of your ego is being able to just swiftly do this, not for the purpose of being fast, but for the flow of relaxation or obtaining kind of a meditative state, which I don't mean to, which is the whole purpose I got into Zentangle, is I was looking for a way to somehow cleanse my mind of all the junk that was going on in my life at the time, from a passing of one parent to then a passing of another, through so many other life big obstacles that many of us have. And so now I'm going to do another one of these, maybe a little bit higher up and maybe facing the opposite direction. Again, light with the pen, light with the pressure, breathe. Move the paper if you need to, and don't be scared to pick that pen up and stop if you need to, whenever you need to. Okay, there's no mistakes in the Zentangle method. There's no rhyme or reason to why we tangle. We just want to make sure that our ego isn't trying to make everything perfect, because we are perfectly imperfect. So now I'm going to start one up here, and I'm going to bring it out, go behind this one, connect this shape way up here. And now as I go down the stem this time, I'm going to stop at this mooka, imaginary line, and then bring it down. So now we're going to be able to see one in front of another, okay? And I love this. And this one looks like it's kind of bent a little bit, which I also love. So let's bring another one. Let's have it. I'm going to bring this line from here and come up and over. It's going to go behind a little bit. It's going to come out. And remember, you can put this, what I call kind of like hook area, anywhere you want to. Imaginary line is going to start right here and then have it come out the other end. So now we've got a couple mookas that are coming out, which is going to look really cool when we go to shade. So now we're just going to go ahead and add mookas wherever we want. We can have them come from another part of the stem, or we can have them come from the ground, which in this case, let's go ahead and have this one go up. Can't really see much of it. And have it come down. We really can't see the actual mooka because it's tiny and it's hidden behind there. But it's nice to have another kind of like branch, I think. And so let's do one up here. And not as big as the other ones. And maybe have it kind of round over a little bit. And then let's have one come behind here. Stop, imaginary line, and bring it down. And then maybe there's another one that's coming up and over here. And I'm going to turn the paper and have it come way over here. And it's going to go behind quite a bit, which I think is the entanglement, right, of kind of the whole process. Now I'm going to have this come down and really avoid it. Kind of just blended right into that, which is perfect. And let's do another one, maybe right here. And kind of move it around and let it wiggle a little bit. And then this one, we're going to have it come down and down and down. And it's just kind of creating its own story. We can even have a little one in here going the other way. Just letting the ego know that we're not here to make sure that they're in what the ego considers a perfect place, because in art there really never is, right? Let's have this one come up and over. And we're going to aura this line down. And let's bring another one over here. Breathing. Light with the pen. Light with the pressure. Oh, I like how tangled that's getting. It's very outside the lines. All right, so let's do one going over here. That's kind of just weeping down. I like to, when I know I'm going to tangle, I like to get in a comfy place. Make sure that I have everything that I need. If I want a cup of tea, a pillow, a blanket. I love this Volari pillow. I'll link that in this video in my link tree. It is a pillow that wraps around your waist, and then I usually take a book or something and I can set it right on that pillow and draw, like on the couch or in a chair. I love it. I also use it for crocheting. And then I usually have, I don't have it going right now, but I do love the plant wave. I connect this device to my plants and it plays meditative music, which I love while I'm doing this as well. So I'm going to have another line, I'm just going to draw some aura lines coming up here. This can look as though something's back here, but we don't necessarily see it. And here. And I think that's pretty good. We can have one come down here. You can add the lines anywhere. You don't have to make it look as though there's a mooka there, because that's not what it's about. It's about putting whatever you want wherever you want. So I'm going to go ahead and keep working on this. Now I did have a little line that went through here, and I want to keep that stem like that, so there's no mistake. So I just took a jelly roll, a white jelly roll, and I covered that up. I do have kits and all types of things in my Etsy shop, as well as art. But if you want to buy items through Amazon, my Amazon affiliate has a list of tangle supplies I use, so you can find everything that I like to use there, if that's an easier way for you to find things. And people have really said that they love that Amazon list because it helps them find the things that they need. Let's do one more here, kind of just out to the side. And then we'll be able to bring this line down and just add some more to the base. And I'm just going to add some more lines here to this, just to really show these other mookas that are coming through and off of here, right? Because it's going to be an amazing way to just add some fun to this. Yeah, I really like this. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually take some pencil and add a little bit of shading. Now shading, there's no rhyme or reason as to where you put things. There's no right or wrong. So that's why I love to have an eraser nearby when I tangle. So I like to use a kneadable eraser, which I have here, kneadable eraser, and just a regular pencil. And I'm going to put some where these stems come into the mane. I'm going to put some graphite there for sure, or pencil. Some people don't like it when you call it graphite because it's a regular pencil, but I'm not really getting into that. There's no rhyme or reason. So I want you, the Zentangle method does not follow a light source. So that's why this is all so calming and really lets you let your mind take a break, in my opinion, because you don't have to think about where all that goes because there is no real reason. So I'm just picking areas near where these stems come in. I'll put some down at the bottom down here. And then I like wherever the mookas go across another mooka, I like to kind of give a little bit of graphite in those places. So this stem is on top of this one, so I'm just going to go ahead and put a little graphite there because what it's going to do is help push some of the tangles that need to come forward. And then we can kind of take a look at the other ones as we go. But for now, I think that's pretty good. So now I'm just going to go in and take a tortillon. And right now I'm mainly just blending out the graphite. I'm not really moving it anywhere. It will push itself out a little bit without doing anything. But right now I'm just blending it where it is. If I get to a place where I really want to move the graphite more, I might do that. But usually when I first do it, I just go ahead and blend in what I've already put down. As a nice start to see what else I want to add, whether I want to weight it with some more ink. Through this whole process though, are you breathing? Are you holding your breath? Are you biting the inside of the cheek? Are you clenching your jaw? These are all things, when we address them, we want to change it. And then when we change it, see how much different you tangle, because you're going to be light with that pen and the pressure. And these are the things that will change how your tangle looks. So I'm going to add some to a couple of these mookas. I'll end up having a whole video just specifically about shading, especially the rounded type tangles, if you want help getting them rounder, that kind of thing. I have lots of other videos. I do have a video here on YouTube that is a full class that's about 2 hours long, and it was a paid class and I offered it free. And I'll be putting some more of those classes up as well. So be sure you subscribe if you have not subscribed. It's free and I would be so grateful. And my goal is to help people with stress and anxiety using modalities like this, tangling. If you can, I recommend you have something to tangle on in your car if you're waiting for kids to be picked up, if you're at the doctor's office. I like to tangle on envelopes from bills to kind of reuse them. I think it's fun to tangle on envelopes. I like to take recycling out sometimes and open up the cereal box and maybe take a Sharpie and draw on that. I think it's just really fun, and a lot of it is things that you can upcycle, and who knows, it may be something that you end up wanting to frame and keep for yourself to say, wow, look at what I created. Now, if you ever tangle something and you don't like it, I don't recommend you throw it away. I recommend you put it in a drawer and walk away from it for a little bit, because you may find some magical things that you'll see later that you didn't see when you were kind of ready to just throw it out. I also recommend that if you're looking for just like an escape and you just really want to clear your mind, take one of the tangles that I've shown for tutorials and tangle a whole page of that one thing, like mooka. Just tangle a whole page and see how that comes out, because the more you start to relax and quiet the mind, it just becomes something that you will keep doing. And the next thing, what I noticed for myself is hours will have gone by and I will feel so much better, and it's worth a try, right? Worth a try. And you might be surprised. So I'm going to take, go back to my pencil, or my Micron 01 here, and I'm going to draw this kind of almost like an elongated U shape under these little mooka hooks. And I'm going to fill that in, and it creates this really cool depth to the mooka just by filling that in. You don't have to, you can if you want to. I like it because it's also amazing contrast on top of that. So I usually do this with all of my mookas. Mooka is one of my favorite tangles. And I think probably because at the beginning it was very challenging for me, which is why I started this tutorial to go really slow with how to do mooka. Because if you look at it from a different perspective, I think it makes things a little bit easier. And I do that with quite a few of the other tangles as well. My tutorials for Huggins and some of the other ones, they have a little bit different terminology that I like to use that visually just makes sense in how to draw it. And the same with mooka. That's why I like to start with kind of like this candy cane shape and then add the U shape with the hook and then or the line. And that was just an easy way for me to remember how to do it so that it would turn out kind of the way I was expecting. And then when I found out it was working for so many other people, I thought, oh, well, I should probably just teach it this way. And it's really been amazing. So let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this tutorial. And I have many other tutorials that you can check out. And I love this mooka. Now, I'm not editing this video. I'm drawing as I go, talking as I go, because I think that's important versus recording it and then talking over. This one I'm actually seeing how I like the flow of teaching while I do it myself here in my art room, which is just a little room with a desk. And it's quiet here. I can look outside and see what's going on. A lot of times I'll see animals outside. But really make sure you're comfortable if you can. If you're, in chaos, you make it as calming as you can, because there's only so much we can do, right? Make sure that you're breathing. Light with the pen, light with the pressure. Don't hold your breath. Now, something else that I like to do with this tangle here is wherever these come in together here, so like this stem is coming into this, all the stems, right? So I like to add a little bit of ink here to really make it look like it's coming out of the side. And you see how that really makes it look like it's trying to squeeze its way out, right? And so I like to kind of come around and do that with ink after I've put some shading down. I just think it's a really cool bonus to the tangle to really make it look as though it's coming out, right? From beneath all the other ones. And you don't have to do this. I have a lot of my tangling students that don't like to shade at all, and that is absolutely fine. This is about you, for you. This is tangling for me is more about self-care than it is about the actual tangle. That just happens to be an amazing fun thing that we get in return for taking care of ourselves, which is pretty amazing. And don't be, this is pen and paper, so don't be nervous to get in there and try things that you want to try. At the beginning, I was so nervous to do that. And then when I finally really worked on telling my ego to just leave me alone while I'm doing my art, which has become my meditation and art at the same time, is that this is just that, pen and paper. And there's more pen and paper all over the place. And that's why I like to reuse it if I can. And so just make sure that you're still breathing. Don't hold your breath. Really be light with the pen and the pressure. And don't judge yourself or your tangle. Especially if you're early on in the tangle, I do feel that my tangles, and I don't know if you feel this way about yours, I feel like they go through an ugly stage where I don't really like them at first. And then once I get into some of the shading, which many of my students will call the magic shading, just no expectation. And remember that you're taking time out for you. So no matter how the tangle turns out, you're already taking the time out for you. And so you'll be able to speed this video up on your own. However, I would really enjoy it if you just played the whole thing. And if you feel like you get lost, replay it. And that's why I just post these, and whoever it's meant to find, the video will find that person. So if you're seeing this, it's not a coincidence, right? It's meant to be. So on this stem, there's a few places where I'm just going to add almost kind of like a diva dance kind of little bumps on. And if you're not familiar with diva dance, I do have tutorials for that as well. I am on all the social media platforms, so you can find all of that in my link tree in the information for this video. But I do really like to weight these ones that are coming right out of that, right out of the base here. I think it's just really, really cool. Once it gets towards the bottom, I do like to kind of have a little bit of a shaky hand here, which I normally kind of have anyway, and I like to weight the bottom of these stems even a little bit more. Wherever the ink crosses over another tangle, I tend to like to re-ink that. It just helps the graphite pop out more. And so this is kind of where we're at. So I'll add what is called my chop to this, which is my signature, and I'm going to put it right here. And there we have it. So this is kind of like a mooka tree. So I'll show the picture at the end. I'll probably spend a little more time on this on my own, but I hope this helped. Please let me know in the comments if it did. And until next time, happy tangling.